Sripada Srivallabha Chapter 8 Part 11, 12, 13 and 14. Part 11 Explanation about 5 virgins. I asked Tirumala Das, it is said that uttering daily the names of Ahalya, Draupadi, Sita, Tara and Mandodari destroys great scenes. I am not able to understand this easily, kindly explain me. Tirumala Das then said Devendra had infatuation for Ahalya. He contrived a cunning scene to get her. One night he assumed the form of cock and crowed, thinking that it was early morning dawn. Gautama went out to perform rituals. Devendra could not touch Ahalya because she was a chaste woman. Devendra had divine powers. As he had divine powers, the strong will under the infatuations of Ahalya turned into a power which emerged into a woman resembling Ahalya. All the living cells in the body of the duplicate Ahalya were formed by the strong mind power of Devendra Gautama, who saw Indra indulging in sexual intercourse with the duplicate Ahalya, cursed them both. Then Ahalya exclaimed, "O foolish sage, what have you done?" Ahalya was spiritually in a higher position than Gautama. Due to the curse of Ahalya, Gautama's mind was disturbed for 12 years and regained normalcy after adoring Lord Shiva. The mental power of Ahalya became inert. With that, her body also became inert and turned into a rock. Ahalya was redeemed from the curse when the dust particles from the feet of Sri Rama fell on her. Therefore, understand that Ahalya was a pure soul. The cursed Devendra took birth as the 5 Pandavas. Even though having 5 forms and 5 minds, the soul which was a support of them all was one. This is a strange thing. Sachi Devi manifested from the sacrificial fire as Draupadi. Her birth was not an ordinary birth. Also note that the god of fire hid the real Sita inside him. Ravana took Maya Sita to Lanka. When Sita entered into the fire, 2 Sitas came out. Therefore, know the Sita is a great devoted Pativrata. There are 27 stars in the 12 houses of the zodiac. The patron deity for the 27 stars was born as Tara Devi. When she was in her full youth, the patron deity of planet Guru, Brihaspati, loved her and married her. An old husband cannot satisfy a young wife. This is a travesty of dharma, violating and solemn pledges made during the marriage cannot be pardoned. When looking at Brihaspati, Tara Devi could not get the feeling of looking at the husband. The responsibility for evoking the feeling of a husband in her rests with Brihaspati. He who knew all dharmas behaved against dharma. In accordance with Tara Devi's mental feelings, the life cells in her body transformed in numerous ways. Her mind was filled with the form of Chandra. Her heart was under the influence of Chandra. The Tara Devi who transformed like this was not the same Tara Devi that married Brihaspati. So the union of Tara and Chandra was not against dharma. As per the regulations of creation, Chandra has to go around all the 27 stars. It is not the duty of the planet Jupiter. If Jupiter were to move like this, it would become a transgression of dharma. Anything which violates dharma is bound to be destroyed. Therefore, it is dharma that the patron deity of the 27 stars. Tara Devi joins the moon, the patron deity of the Chandra Mandala. My dear, in consonance with the subtle dharma, Tara Devi is a Mahapativrata. When Bhishma was on his deathbed made of arrows, he taught Dharmaraja. Bhishma told, when bad things take place, they must be stopped, if possible. Otherwise, one should leave that place. Hearing that, Draupadi laughed. Then Bhishma said, while Draupadi's clothes were being removed, I kept quiet in those days. I was eating the food provided by Duryodhana and others. Thus my attitude got spoiled. That bad blood had flown out of my body now. Now my nature has no impurity. The truth has dawned. A living being takes many births in the process of evolution. It may be born as a female in some births and as a male in some other births. It may also be born as an animal or a bird instead of a human. Mandodari was born as a male in one birth. In that life, he had a fickle-minded wife, a cruel wife, and a gentle-natured wife. The fickle-minded wife was born as a monkey under the name Valli. The cruel wife took birth as Ravana and the gentle-natured wife was born as Vibhishana. In a different kalpa, when Mandodari was born as a male, all the three were his wives. In the present birth, Mandodari became a wife to Valli and gave birth to Angada. Afterwards, she became the wife of Ravana. After the death of Ravana, she became the royal wife of Vibhishana. The life cells at different stages when she was the wife of Valli. Of Ravana and Vibhishana were different and varied. Therefore, Mandodari is also a Mahapativrata. Then I asked, sir, it is said that women and men should observe monogamy. Is not polygamy reprehensible? Part 12. The transformation of the cycle of karma. The Tirumala Das said, what you are telling is very true. If a person subjects his wife to harassment without any reason, he will become a young widow for 7 subsequent births. If a man marries 4 or 5 females, he will be born as a female in the next birth. If the sexual desires, the urges of those 4 or 5 females are not destroyed, they will take birth as males and have sexual intelligence with that female. If this happens all in one life, it becomes adultery, which is a sin. On the other hand, if those males marry her in different births separately, no sin arises. This is the power of the wheel of time. In this rotation of the great wheel, many such countless wonders take place. If one takes the birth of a female, then the duties of that birth have to be followed. So is the case with males. A sinner who separates a couple would take birth as a eunuch. He would be impotent, not belonging to any gender, and would be deprived of marital bliss. He experiences utter misery and undergoes mental agony. Eating meat is prohibited. Suppose one killed a goat and ate in the company of 10 others. That goat experiences terrible pain at the time of the exist of life. Those painful reactions lie concealed in the hairy region. My boy, painful reactions and happy reactions lie concealed in the sphere of air. Good deeds produce happy, vibrating reactions and bad deeds produce agitating reactions. The dead goat intends to harm the 10 persons who ate it. On account of its thought about humans, the goat will take the life of a man. These 10 persons will be born as ghosts. In this way, the results of actions ensue. For every action, there would be corresponding reaction. Therefore, man should cultivate the quality of forgiveness. A sattvic person would not like to eat the flesh of goat. Even if he saw it, even if the goat happened to be the man who ate it, if he forgives and grants its life, the wheel of karma stops. The collective virtue and collective sin of the residents of Pitikapuram fructified at once and became the cause of the birth of Sripada Srivallabha. Pious people realized him as Sridatta and derived auspicious results. Sinners did not realize him as Sridatta and suffered ill effects. Those who abuse Sripada Srivallabha fall into Raurava and other hells, even though they adore Sridatta. It is better to be silent if the matter is not understood, but one should not abuse that beautiful, divine, glorious, auspicious and magnanimous form. Those who offer camphor harti to his face but drive nails to his feet, and those who abuse the incarnation of Sridatta would have venereal diseases. Not only this, Sridatta has added a peculiar yogic power in his supportive play of grace. For pious people, the remembrance of the name of Sridatta brings fulfillment of all their desires unasked for and without any effort. For those sinners who abuse Sripada, countless obstacles and undesirable things occur in strange ways. Sripada is a form of fire. He wears a fabric of fire. His body is an embodiment of the holy fire of an Upanishad to describe the greatness of his padukas. Sridatta is Sridatta regardless of how many yugas elapsed or how many kalpas passed or how many cycles of creation, sustenance and destruction took place. There is none comparable to him. He is verily Sripada. Srivallabha, every atom in this creation bears testimony to this supreme truth. Part 13. The Reinstallation of Self-Manifested Datta. A strange Avduta came to Pitikapuram. He was a mad monk. He was a peculiar ascetic who blessed people through curses and abuses. If he praised anyone, the fruits from virtuous deeds of the other person got diminished. The residents of Pitikapuram inquired him about the whereabouts of the self-manifested Datta. Then that Siddha informed them that the self-manifested Datta took a bath in all the holy centers and was resting in the river Ela. Then when a search was conducted in Ela river, the statue of the self-manifested Datta came out. During an auspicious time, Apara Sarva Mangala Devi, Sumati Maharani and Apala Raja Sharma, shining with Brahmanic brilliance, recreated that icon. This was done according to the wish of that Siddha. Sri Bapnare presided over the grand celebration. Part 14. Birth of Sri Vidyaranya. Bapnare invited the Sita to their house of Bhiksha on the day when the reconciliation took place in the temple. The Sita agreed. He saw Sripada in the house of his grandfather. An overwhelming fatherly affection swelled in him on that divine child aged 2 years and who was treading softly on the floor. The child climbed onto the shoulders of his maternal uncle Venkavadhani. He was playing merrily with the tuft of hair on the head of his uncle. He saw the Siddha and started laughing. Hearing that laughter, the Siddha went into samadhi. When he recovered consciousness, Sripada said, Madhava Bhakaryavedu will establish a Hindu kingdom as per your wish when I attain 16 years of age. You will be with Harihara and Bhukarya. May you become famous under the name of Vidyaranya Maharshi. In the ensuing century, Govinda Dikshitalu will be born in the house of your brother Sancharya. That Govinda Dikshitalu is none other than you. May you prosper as a Rajashri and a great minister of Tanjore. Then tears of joy showered from the eyes of the Siddha. He embraced Sripada. Sripada paid obeisance to the feet of the Siddha sportively. The Siddha exclaimed, What is a wonder? Then Sripada said, You will ascend Sringeri Pitam and become well known as Vidyaranya. You will then be born as Krishna Saraswati, as the third one in the lineage of your disciples. You will have a lot of fatherly affection towards me. Therefore, when I incarnate again as Narsimha Saraswati, you will initiate me into the ascetic order as my preceptor. Sri Krishna Saraswati in Kashi. Kashi Vishveshwara and Annapurna Mata are witness. You have to restore ascetic. The manner in which Pajyapyajula Madhavacharya belonging to Parasra Gotra, comprising of the sages Vashishta, Shakti and Parahasra, become famous as Vidyaranya Maharshi, and some more things will be told tomorrow. Thus Tirumala Das concluded the narration for the day. Victory up to Sripada Srivallabha.